All right, Warzone Season 3 Reloaded patch notes. H4 Blixen SMG, Serpentine perk, HUD. Also, before we get into this, I appreciate all the love and support on the videos recently. So if you could leave a like on this video, I'd appreciate it. All right, so new SMG. We don't know how good it's gonna be, but hopefully it'll be decent, somewhat interesting. I know that it's kind of like a common thing to assume that every new gun that gets released would be like this OP thing. This happens in other games as well with like new operators or new agents or new characters, whatever. They usually end up a little bit strong and unbalanced in some way, which honestly makes the game a little bit more fun for a certain period of time if they can fix it quickly enough. Like if the new SMG ended up being really strong for like a week, I think that would be a cool change, but we'll see how good it is. Serpentine, I don't really know how to feel about Serpentine, especially comparing it to the other perks and stuff like that. The only time where I can see myself actually using Serpentine is if I found it on the ground. The fact that you can find Serpentine on the ground with the other perks across the game is gonna make time to kill and the gunfights a lot less consistent now. It takes more bullets than you assume, one or two more bullets. I don't really know what 20% reduction really does overall in terms of reduction in total shots to kill. I don't know if it's like one more bullet, two more bullets, maybe even more than that. I don't know. I value loot zones. Now, I don't really know what that's gonna really do. I mean, it's interesting. You could definitely land at more places than just the one hotspot now. Like, obviously, Peak is the most populated one, usually. Peak is basically like Superstore. Now that they have high value loot zones in places, maybe the people will spread out a little bit more, or more people will actually land in different areas at least. There's obviously some strategy there where you're gonna have to try to assume where a lot of people are gonna land. Champion of Caldera, I think going into June, they're actually gonna introduce this Champion of Caldera mode for solos. They're gonna remove regular solos and have this. This sounds really interesting and it might be really fun, so we'll have to see with that shit. Yeah, okay, so we can see here, new lootable perks. You can get tune-up, Serpentine, Tracker, Hardline, Kill Chain, EOD. Obviously, picking up Serpentine is high value. I don't think Serpentine is worth it to put it on your base loadout, but it's high value if you go and find it. Radar Jammer, don't really care how much that's gonna do. High value loot zones, we know. That's the movement system. Quality of life improvements. This shows squad stuff, which is, I mean, more information is always better. Doesn't look too cluttered or too bad or anything, so. Improves footstep audio. Team has completed a reprioritization pass of NPC footstep audio relative to other crucial gameplay sounds to prevent voice calling of NPC footstep. Don't really know what that means, but hopefully it's fixed or better or whatever. I always felt like that the footsteps were always far too loud, so I don't know if this is just increasing footstep audio, if they're gonna fix it more directionally. Directionally is fine, I understand that, but the range in which you can hear people with the TTK in this game, it's ridiculous. Usually if you're getting first shot, it usually comes from an audio cue first. Gun butting now requires 4 consecutive hits, good, because people that spam that melee shit are trash. It's the same people that double melee'd in Halo, you're dog shit. Slide camera lock, okay, they fixed it, but the way that they're explaining it, if a player was sliding while navigating a slope or stairs, that's not the case. I could replicate it on a flat surface. So I don't know if this is fixed or not. Frag grenade, damage increased by 24.5%. I'm not bad with frag grenades. Yesterday I was playing a little bit and I threw a frag, a slight little cook off the edge of the mountain over on Peak to a dude that's all the way at the bottom. I chucked that shit all the way over there. You can't do that with any other thing in the game, any other tactical, unless you're trying to hit somebody with like a throwing knife or some shit. Oh, and speaking of throwing knife, damage increased by 20%. Hits to the upper torso and head will now one shot down. So buff to the throwing knife, I probably still won't use it though. Proximity mine buff, it didn't need it, but sure. Claymore buff, didn't need it. Semtex is really strong, so I don't really know why they buffed the damage, but sure, whatever. Player core health has been increased to 300 when factoring in armor plates. So 150 for armor plates, 150 for your regular pool. And now it's consistent across all the modes, good. Cold War AK nerf. AS44 is buffed. Initial recoil slightly decreased, bullet velocity increased, now functioning on hand perk. I don't think Itcher Burst is ever really gonna make it unless they overbuff it like crazy. Cooper got a little buff. C58 got nerf. Amax nerf. Farah nerf. Nikita buff. Don't really know if that's gonna help it that much. I don't know if the recoil was necessarily its biggest issue, but I don't know. I just think it kind of loses in general. I still think, I mean, unless I run into something else, I still think the STG is the best gun in the game in terms of ARs. I know that some people use the Automaton and other shit like that, but... Oh, wait, no. Assault Rifle Charlie Vanguard is the bar, actually. Oh, bar buff? Hey, that might be kind of crazy. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. But now, here's the Itcher Burst, but that doesn't really help it that much. NZ41. This one is a very weird weapon because it seems like it's easy to use and it's low recoil, and then you fire it, and the recoil pattern is dog shit. Adjusted recoil pattern and intensity when used in fully automatic. Yeah, okay. So the NZ might actually actually be pretty decent. We've taken a look at the velocity and range bonuses provided by the attachments and made significant adjustments so the NZ can compete with the best. Yeah, it actually might. Vargo got a buff, a small buff though, nothing huge. The Volk got a little bit of, well, headshot and neck multipliers are up, but the ADS movement speed that most people are using with those crazy movement speed builds, like the FFAR meta all over again, that got nerfed a little bit. There are other weapons in the game that are using and abusing these like shooting movement speed and ADS movement speed builds and shit. I think the Volk was the best one of them, but there's like the Type 100 and a few other SMGs. XM4, it's kind of average. I don't really know. SVT, I don't really give a fuck about these marksman rifles, to be honest with you. None of the gameplay really looks good. They're not really fun to play into, but whatever. They got a buff to the SVT, buff to the M1916, buff to the M1 Garand. Sniper rifle, HDR caught a nerf. Pellington caught a nerf of 5 meters for some reason. Wow, big fucking difference. Everybody was just abusing and beating the shit out of people with the fucking Pellington, surely. ZRG, damage multiplier decreased to 1.5, down by 1.7. The ZRG is the best sniper rifle in the game at the moment. Combat recon barrel, bullet velocity decreased at 38%, down from 43, so we got a 5% bullet velocity nerf. It still stays over 1,000, I think, but completely unneeded. Modern Warfare sniper rifle Charlie, bullet velocity decreased. Why are they nerfing the snipers, man? Oh, 3-line rifle got a buff, though. Bullet velocity increased. I don't think it's bullet velocity was his biggest issue, but bullet drop-off decrease, okay. Sprint to fire scalar increased to 1.0 from 0.99. I don't know what that means. Realign the 3-line reticles to be properly screen centered. So they actually fixed the 3-line then, because it felt really weird. Like statistically, it wasn't bad, but it just felt off. 100mm MN custom, bullet velocity increased to 25%, up from 20. First barrel got buffed. The different types of magazines here, bullet velocity increased to 20. Damage penalty removed. Damage range increased from minus 20% up from minus 30. Honestly, the 3-line might be the way to go. Rifle Alpha, max range increased to 1600, up from 1375. What is Sniper Rifle Alpha? Dragunov? I don't give a fuck. All right, the update looks like it is 11 gigs. Rytech, now 1-shots to the head within max damage range. Oh, look at that, okay. M82 can now 1-shot to the head. Hey, it turns out that 50 caliber bullets should probably kill people if you shoot them in their fucking face. Stop punishing people for hitting people in the head. Why would you ever decrease a reward for being accurate? I will never understand. I don't know. I think they want a lot of people to use the Vanguard snipers now, it seems like. They nerfed the other ones and then brought the Vanguard snipers up. The issue with the Vanguard snipers overall were their feelings, and then they go and hit the Kar 98, and then they got that maximum range and all that kind of shit. I genuinely do think the 3-line is probably the best one. It doesn't matter what you do to increase the handling of these other sniper rifles if you can't 1-shot to the head at a reasonable distance. It should be like 100 meters or some shit like that. I don't know. Shotguns decrease damage by 20% for all of the semi-auto shotguns because they're cheesy as fuck. Lapa got a nerf. OTS-9 got a nerf. The 30 Russian short 30-round magazines got a 1% damage buff. Okay. Owen gun. This thing is just gonna get hit a million times. I don't know. They're probably hitting the Owen gun because they're adding the one Blicky SMG or whatever the fuck it's called. Such a good name too, the Blicky. Machine gun Alpha. I mean, genuinely, I think they're just nerfing all of this other shit. The Clauser does 50 damage per bullet from 46. That actually changes the shots to kill, I'm pretty sure, right? This is like a 6-shot kill with a pistol. 3 shots to bust the armor, 3 shots to kill. That is by far the strongest pistol secondary. Now, how fast can you fire it? So many changes. Rose skin nerf, 70% adjustment to increase the brightness of the infamous Rose outfit. Download. All right, and that's everything. All right, well, updates here. Let's go.
Training's over. Time to see what you've learned.
I don't know about this recoil, I haven't used these weapons like at all in Warzone, so the builds are kinda... See, the worst part is, even if I went and dropped like a 40 or some shit like that, people are still gonna say I spectate. So, what's the point of trying? I'll be making clear and concise requests and information and speculation and all sorts of shit like that. Completely reasonable shit. And somebody will be like, yeah, but you spectate, so you don't know what you're talking about. Gulag entry token. I can't take it, though. I got restock. Holy shit, there are so many perks. What the fuck?
Loadout drop headed your way. Gas is inbound.
I literally pressed the button. Holy shit, man. I actually pressed it. Holy fuck. I am pressing the button. Why does that happen? Why can't you press X within like 10 meters on the ground? This has happened for so long, for years. And I swear they made an adjustment to it, but it's just not working, man. I swear to God I am pressing that shit. No bullshit. You can throw me into the hellfire if I didn't press that button. Not that guy. Is this where I died last time? Oh, I actually like the new HUD. Not gonna lie, slide canceling feels a little weird. I know that they made that change in order to try to fix like whatever that weird shit is, but what the fuck? Good, man? I mean, the bullet velocity seems good in general. I know that they buffed that, but got him. Did you think I can't fire back or some shit, motherfucker? What's up?
Got your request. Cluster strike is active. Enemy UAV active.
I'm just gonna spectate him until he dies. Does that Champion of Caldera mode in solos, does that shit, do you still have the respawn tokens in that mode and shit with 150 players? What the fuck is that on the map? What is that? Oh, transit. Apparently, I didn't even go in there, but apparently when you go into the transit thing, you go through like this cutscene thing where you like travel through tunnels and shit, and then you literally just spawn somewhere. So what if somebody's just sitting at the end of one of them? I mean, the bar seems like it hits really fucking hard. I mean, it's always been the case that it hits hard, but now that they buffed it, I mean, the bar might be kind of... I think the SCG is still probably best, but the bar hits hard as shit. He hits people with like 3 bullets and their arm is gone. Slide cancel's weird after the update. I think they tried to fix camera bug when sliding and broke something else. Yeah, it feels a little weird. I mean, obviously you can still slide cancel, like it's there, but it feels less responsive sometimes. I don't know how else to explain that. I don't know why I ended up over on this part of the map. This part of the map sucks ass. I was just trying to rotate with the balloons and I ended up over here somehow. I don't really know how that works. This guy's taking note of where the other players are landing. Did FPS take a hit this update? Maybe it's just the area. You know, one thing I thought of as well, when Warzone 2 comes out, I really hope there's a solo mode immediately. I don't want to be forced to play squads. I feel like earlier, was there a situation where there were never solos before? I know that we had like playlist updates where there weren't solos and stuff, but when Warzone initially released, did they have solos? Hope they don't do some weird shit like that, because I swear it takes months for them to get back to where they were, and then, yeah. Oh my goodness. With the 5% damage buff as well, and he survives. See, a frag would have killed his ass, though. There's a guy to his left. He's aiming at him. Oh my god. He's gonna flash him. He's not that battle hardened though, baby! I wish I could have seen that kill cam. He was already looking at him when he got stunned, so it's pretty obvious. He just ran into his sights anyway once he stunned him. Overzealous. That's the issue also, is that people think once they like land a stun or a flash, that means like guaranteed I win this fight. And then they proceed to jump in front of them. Put on the mask. He's taking the mask off. Hey, ADS, he lost the fight because of the mask! You're all fucking cheaters, every single one of you. Am I in a Spanish-speaking lobby? Honestly, with the amount of Spanish that I hear in a lot of these lobbies, I really should pick up a second language. I mean, I have time. Why would that not be useful? I mean, NZ buff, definitely better than it was. 3-line, the bullet velocity seems great. Handling still seems a little weird, but it's not bad. Obviously, it's gonna take a bit more than just one game to feel it out. Find the meta and shit like that. That's gonna take a while, but yeah, Season 3 Reloaded is out, and yeah, enjoy.